take that shit on the road.
No, we're gonna keep it right here on Waxing Pixels on Battle Geek Plus. Because my name's Josh, and with me as always, I have Heather.
Yo.
Ryan.
Hey.
And Frank.
Welcome to the exciting episode of Battle Geek Plus Podcast.
That was kind of horrible. Anyway, hello everyone, how you doing? We're doing some Battle Geek Plusage today, some waxing of the pixels. And boy, we got a bunch of topics for you. But first, let's see how everyone's doing. Hey Josh, how you doing? I'm fine. How about the rest of you?
Yes, Josh, how about the rest of you?
Yeah, Josh, how about the rest of you there?
You know, it's doing a lot better than the rest of Heather.
Yeah, it is. Not only has it been stupid fucking hot, at the end of fucking September.
Yeah, it was like 105.
105, 2 days in a row, in our new apartment that has no air conditioning except in the bedroom. Which, I mean, it's great for myself and Josh, not Frank, because he doesn't sleep in there with us. He's not like a dog at the foot of our bed. But
he doesn't cuddle between us either, and it makes me sad.
No,
That would be...
I'm not sad.
That would be weird. Like, I don't know, sitcom weird.
Yeah, well,
it would be.
That's the point. It would be funny.
But, yeah, aside from this heat completely sucking, I was sick last week, and the reason I got sick last week is because I got bit 6 times by a spider. Hooray!
She didn't get superpowers. What the hell?
Well, it was apparently just a regular old non-radioactive spider, so...
Or you just could be a late bloomer and powers will set in shortly.
That's fine. All I want are these bites to heal and go away, and they haven't yet, and honestly, if they don't get better in the next day or two, I'm going to the fucking doctor because I literally was losing my mind last night. I couldn't sleep. I actually got up and washed my legs, like, twice, and I put Band-Aids on the bites to maybe, like, if there was something against it, so then, like, the bed, like, the covers wouldn't irritate them, and it didn't help, and, like, I ended up just sitting in the bathroom and, like, crying for, like, 10 minutes because my legs itched so bad, and I was just tired, and I wanted to sleep, and it was just driving me insane. So...
You were in, like, such a horrible mood, like, when you got up. And,
oh, my God, yes.
And,
awful
like,
mood.
Yeah, like, you went out, like, you came back with Benadryl, and then, like, you just passed out.
Well, you know, I don't normally take Benadryl, and now I know why our buddy Trent really hated it, because he usually would take it for his allergies, and the joke about Benadryl just putting you in a coma, holy shit, man.
Like, it knocked you out.
It knocked me out,
Damn.
and so I'm sitting around with, like, an ice pack on, like, at least 2 of the bites that I have, and it's just, oh, God damn it sucks. Sucks so bad. Oh, and I had to go back to the dentist today after getting a filling put in yesterday because the filling fell out before I even got home. That was fun.
High five!
High five. So anybody else?
So, we're not going to be singing the Spider Heather song?
No.
Heather?
Spider.
That would be Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, like, maybe you said that she might be a late bloomer. Like, she might, like, her powers might come, like, really late. Like, she's, like, 85 years old. And, like, you know, and like, she's, like, just kind of hanging out in the house with, like, all 30 of her cats. I'm dead, you know.
It's
and,
time
like,
You are my Uncle Ben.
and then suddenly, you know, like, you're just, like, shooting webs and stuff. I don't know.
I don't need a walker anymore. I can just, you know, swing to the grocery store. I don't need tall buildings because, you know, if anything, you know, Spider-Man 2 has taught me that I can just, you know, hook a cloud.
Right? That would be a lot of pressure off of your hip. Because, you know, old people, they...
Time to fulfill my destiny. Whip.
Even the whip sounded old. Whip. Back in my day.
Speaking of destiny, for Nintendo.
Oh, yes. So, the Wii U is taking its final orders. Well, Nintendo is taking its final orders for the Wii U, I should say. Not the Wii U is getting its final orders. Like, Wii U, these are your final orders. No. The Wii U, if you're planning on getting one before the NX comes out, it's now's about the time to do so because it seems this holiday season is the last time that you will be buying a new Wii U. That is unless, of course, whatever they've manufactured already doesn't sell out for quite a while. Now, I never ended up buying a Wii U. I was waiting for Zelda, and, well, actually I was waiting for Star Fox, and I wasn't too impressed by it. and then I started waiting for Zelda, and now Zelda's going to the NX, so why?
But the Wii U has so many awesome games like...
Well, they had Tank, and I would have loved to play that with you guys. Because, me and Frank, we played, that arcade version in San Diego.
Yeah,
that was
that
so
was-
much fun.
4 or 5 years ago, something like that?
Yeah.
Well,
And-
now the game's $5.
It is, but it's also on a console that I'm never going to own.
Right.
So, unless, the NX is backwards compatible and has a disk drive or something like that.
Oh, yeah, there is Smash Brothers, too. So.
Well,
That's
yeah,
it.
there's Smash Brothers, which I have on the 3DS,
Mario Kart.
and,
And Mario Kart 8's good.
okay.
And then I hear crickets in the background when I think of other games for the
Well,
Wii U.
I'm hoping that the Hyrule Warriors is ported to the NX because I kind of want to play that.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
I kind of want to play that, and well, the 3DS version doesn't really do the whole tons of enemies concept justice. Like I've seen it, and it's like I played Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U, and it's just like any other Dynasty Warriors Musou style game where there's just tons and tons of enemies, and then you go to the 3DS, which I would imagine would be powerful enough to run something like a Musou game, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna give you 8 enemies. It's like that doesn't really seem nearly as cool. So hopefully they bring that, and maybe like Mario Maker to the NX and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. But some people were saying that maybe this meant that the NX might come out for the holiday season, but I highly doubt that. If that was the case, they probably would have announced it back at E3 rather than making their entire part of the floor, Nintendo's entire part of the E3 floor, just dedicated solely to recreating a portion of Hyrule so I could, step inside and never want to leave.
So yeah, they did that just for you.
They did that just for me.
They were like, you know what? We should do it at E3 this year. We should take this entire area we're gonna have and turn it into this Hyrule playland just for that guy. What was his name? Josh.
No,
yeah, Josh
I
Christopher.
think it's Chris. I think it's Chris.
Chris Jostopher?
Chris
Yeah,
Jostopher.
no, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like
Christopher
Nintendo
Josh.
Japan called up Reggie, and Nintendo American was all like, Reggie-san, Battle Geek Plus no Joshua Zelda Daisuki desu.
And then Reggie's like, who the fuck's Battle Geek Plus?
Right? Yeah. Whatever.
Plus.
So anyway,
Well, my concern about this is, they're still making Zelda for the Wii U in 2017, even when the NX is out. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be enough Wii U's to go around, and then there's still going to be a decent user base. But what if there's a slight possibility, oh shit, I want to buy the Wii U version of Zelda, but now there's no more Wii U's to go around.
I really don't imagine with as few Wii U's that were sold, this is their worst console generation. It did worse than the GameCube.
I liked the GameCube.
I did
me
too,
too.
but it didn't sell that many of them. Everyone, they had their PS2s and their Xboxes and whatnot. I mean, I had a GameCube, but it was my second console. The PS2 was the main one I bought games for.
I mean, the only reason I got rid of the GameCube I had is because the Wii plays GameCube games.
Right? I don't remember what happened to my GameCube. I might have sold it or given it to somebody or something. I'm always giving crap to people.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it rubbed off on Ryan, then he gave all of his shit to us.
Right?
Damn it!
Well,
and then moving was a problem. Damn it!
Well, I'm surprised I didn't give my GameCube to you guys.
right?
We probably would have said no.
Yeah, because I sold it on eBay.
I mean, now I might, say yes, because I'd like to get that in a Game Boy player and, stream some, Game Boy Advance games on Twitch or something with, through the GameCube.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
But whatever. I think there's going to be enough Wii U's to go around. I do not think that they are going to get just totally sold out. Maybe a little bit before the NX comes out, who knows? But you'll probably at least be able to find them online. I don't know. But speaking of failures, the PlayStation Vita. A former Sony executive had some things to say about the Vita, which, you know what? I kind of liked the Vita, actually.
I hated the Vita.
Never owned one. Have no opinion of it.
I just bought one a couple of months ago, and I love it, but I mostly play PlayStation 1 classics on it.
So, but yeah, like I got it because I wanted to play Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus, which, yeah, that's pretty much just a good enough reason for me to buy it. Oh, there's Senran Kagura on it. Okay, yeah, I'll buy it.
Booby ninjas! I want that!
Yes. But, you were the one, Heather, who read more deeply into this whole Vita thing, like that it came too late or something like that. What was said?
Oh, it was mostly about the fact that when the Vita came around, it was after the PSP, and the PSP did actually quite well. And so the Vita was supposed to snap up that same market of older gamers and whatnot. The only problem being that smartphones were becoming more of a thing, and games on smartphones were on the rise. So, yeah, they just ended up coming out at the wrong time. If it had come out before gaming on smartphones was, more common, then they probably would have done a little bit better. Because now whenever you think of mobile gaming, people actually expect to be able to do other things besides game. And they're like, with your phone you can call people, text people, be on the internet, you can Snapchat, you can Facebooks and Twitters and whatever. But, yeah, it's just one of those things that having something that's portable and solely for gaming and nothing else, people don't seem to be too interested in it, especially if you're after a older gaming crowd, because now people expect a portable device to have multiple functions. So
that might be one reason, but, a lot of the people that I knew who were excited for the Vita, one of the things that immediately turned them off was they were just kind of like, oh, my memory stick that goes with the PSP, like, that doesn't work in the Vita. Like, I need to buy this new piece of memory that if I want to have a decent amount of it, I'm spending, like,
It's
upwards
expensive.
to, like, half the cost of the hardware itself just to have some memory. And then right there, you're going along, you're getting up to, around the price of what, like, a PS3 was at the time, or, more than what, like, the really slim PS2s were, and there weren't a ton of games that came out for it at the time. There was Hot Shots Golf and some other nonsense.
Yeah, Hot Shots Golf!
yeah, let's make a video game out of the most boring sport in the world.
And there really wasn't much going with it, and that's why, like, I waited so long, and I got mine used from an old coworker. Like, he was like, I don't play it anymore. Here, you can have the Vita and this memory card for like $110 or something. And I'm like, sweet. So got it, and I was able to play Senran Kagura and like some other like more like niche Japanese titles since then, which I thought the Vita was good for, because it really doesn't seem like those like very Japanese-ish titles really make their way over to the main console anymore because of how expensive it would be to develop in comparison to developing for, say, the PSP or the Vita or something like that. Which also, that reminds me, when the Vita came out here, Sony immediately, just right away, discontinued all PSP-related things. Like, the day of. Like, it was just like, Vita's out, PSP's gone, fuck you. Where, like, in Japan, there was still, like, another 40 games that came out that year for the PSP.
Huh.
Plus, they still supported, all the hardware and stuff like that. There was no time to actually change over from one to the other. There was no, like, adoption time.
Yeah, I remember when I bought my Vita earlier this year. It was pretty cheap, but then when I saw the prices for the memory cards, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that. I'll say that I wasn't a fan of the Vita. I definitely wasn't a fan of the PSP. I didn't like either console. I played more of the Vita for the simple sake that there were some games that I wanted to play. For instance, Grim Fandango was remastered, and I had always wanted to play it, and I never got the chance to. And then it came out, and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" And if Josh was hogging the PlayStation, which is normal, I was able to play it on the Vita. And another thing that was really great was the cross save.
Yeah.
That I liked that, and I will say that Rogue Legacy was fun times.
Yeah, Rogue Legacy, like, you were obsessed with that game. Like, you were always playing it on either one or the other, the Vita or the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that, that was probably one of the best features, because really they tried to sort of advertise the Vita as sort of this optional second screen thing for a while when the Wii U was coming out, and that never really went anywhere. You know, I did like remote play a couple of times. I was never able to actually link up my Vita to the PlayStation with like just the regular remote play. I would always have to go over Wi-Fi to do it, even in the same room, which was really weird. Maybe I was doing something wrong, but you know, that would always create like delays and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, when playing something like Sleeping Dogs or Arkham or something like that. And then there are games like Xenoverse, which has the cutscene at the very beginning, like the intro cutscene, blocked from streaming. And an unintended side effect of that is when I go to remote play Xenoverse, I can't play it because it goes into the blocked cutscene, and then it never really, when it gets past that cutscene, it never really like lets me start playing it. So I couldn't remote play Xenoverse at all. So it was really weird. I don't know. It had a lot of problems, and I really don't think its timing is one of them, because even though it was aimed at older players like the PSP was, the PSP did have a lot of kids playing it too, and they did just fine there. And the 3DS, you know, that does just fine too, mostly amongst the younger audience, but it's still doing really well.
Yeah, I remember at E3, if you're looking for the PS Vita there to play, there's barely any kiosks with it anymore.
Oh no, like the past like couple of years, I mean before this year, like there was like whole sections dedicated to it.
Yeah, like that was the first console I played Hotline Miami 2 on, was the PS Vita.
Right.
At E3.
And then like this year, 2016, like at E3, like there was nothing for the Vita.
Yeah, the Vita
whatsoever.
was gone.
Which really actually at E3 there was a lot less just to walk up and play in general. Like a lot of the areas were like closed off for closed off presentations and stuff.
Yeah.
It was not nearly as open as it has been the past few years.
Schedule yourself a time to come in and watch. Okay. That was, I mean, I understand them doing that for certain things because of how popular some things were to try and alleviate lines. But at the same time, there were a lot of things I didn't even bother to go try and see because of the scheduling. Like, I thought it was stupid. They obviously, you know, and they were small scheduling too. It was like only 30 people at a time for like an hour presentation.
Right.
And over 3 days, come on.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, but on the upside, you know, the PlayStation Experience like app, you know, that really helped us out with scheduling. Once we finally got that down, and if they're going to do the same thing next year, you know, we'll start being able to schedule our stuff out, you know, a lot earlier.
So we're pretty much not expecting to see anything Vita anymore at E3.
No.
Or ever.
Probably
really.
not, no.
Like, you might get like free stuff on, you know, PS Plus. You know, there's that, but
Or I bet you Sony has so much excess Vitas. Like they're just like if you go to E3, if you go to the PlayStation Experience, or if you go to PAX, you know, they're just gonna start putting Vitas in the swag bag.
In the swag bags, yeah.
here you go, but we're not giving you any memory for them. What?
Or games.
Right. So like the memory card I have for mine is still like stupid small, so it's whatever. But anyway, so you know. Got a little more Sony news coming out, though, for new things, though. So apparently Amazon UK plans to fulfill all their PlayStation VR pre-orders by December 12th, but not really exactly sure if there's actually enough units to satisfy all of the pre-orders.
Well, that's not a shock.
So
That happens a lot.
Well, I pre-ordered mine, and I better fucking have it when it comes out.
I mean, did you pre-order it from Amazon UK?
No.
Okay.
Then stop complaining.
Like, you should probably end
But
up
our
getting
friends in the UK, we gotta think of them too.
Why would you pre-order anything?
Because
Because Ryan's a consumer.
I'm a consumer whore.
Right.
He is a consumer whore.
This is why you have bad decisions in your life.
Yes.
Because you pre-ordered?
Yes, pre-order is a bad decision because you don't know what you're getting.
What I found funny about the article was they were talking about, they specifically said that if you had pre-ordered it, okay, yes, you will be getting it, but there will only be one pre-order sent to a person per address. So that means there were multiple people, there was somebody who ordered multiple pieces of VR tech for their home.
Well, there are
So
a lot of people.
I mean, there. I know there's a lot of people out there that, you know, there are people out there who have several kids and they're buying each one for their kid because Lord knows kids suck at sharing.
Right.
But you know, it's to avoid the fight on Christmas morning. I understand. But you know, on the other side of that coin is like how many people are grown ass adults who live by themselves and they banked on something like this because this happens a lot and they plan on getting several units to fucking sell them on Amazon.
Well, yeah, that's like a lot of people, they would say, like even people that I used to work with, you know, when I worked at an electronics store, they'd be like, oh, such and such new console's coming out. I'm pre-ordering 2. I'm going to get one to actually play. And I'm going to get the other one to turn around and sell it for twice the price on eBay. Now,
Yeah.
I never really followed up on whether they actually did that or not, or whether they were even allowed to. But it was something that I heard a lot, you know, even from people, you know, who were already working in electronic stores and whatnot. Not just some, you know, shitty customer or whatever. So it's
Yeah, I need to buy a VR headset for me, my wife, and my 2 kids. Yeah, but you only need one for each PlayStation, but I still need to buy 4.
well, yeah, well, maybe each kid has a PlayStation. Who knows? Like maybe they're just
Well, they're a damn rich family then.
Well, that sounds like a consumer whorish family, Ryan.
Well, that's why Ryan doesn't have like a wife and kids and stuff like that, is so that, you know, he can save all of his consumer whorishness to
I
himself.
don't have to share.
So he can keep his 6 PlayStations to himself.
Yes.
All 6 of them.
All
I'm getting,
6 of them.
I'm getting 8.
You'll sometimes let your sister's dog Oreo play.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what, Oreo,
but
you're
I
fluffy and cute.
But I limit his time because it's important.
He's got one in the
Well,
kitchen.
he's a young dog and needs to go out and get his exercise.
That's true.
He's got one in the kitchen. He's got one, you know, by the computer. He's got one in the living room, one in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, you can do VR while on the shitter.
Yes, there you go.
The future of gaming.
I have one in the car.
It's
I
now.
have one at work.
You know.
You
Yeah.
can simulate work while at work.
Yes, exactly.
I'm all right. You know what? I'm tired of working. I'm gonna play The Sims VR.
VR.
Make your Sims go to work.
Right? Take that. Now I'm the boss. Ha ha ha. I don't know. That sounded more like a Zoidberg thing.
I'm wondering if someone will actually use the VR on the shitter.
Oh, I'm sure they
I'm
will.
pretty sure. I mean, people use
Why
the
not?
Wii U tablet.
I can really imagine like there actually being like a YouTube video where someone's sitting there and being like, you know what? This game is.
Oh, and
Or you know, someone who could be using that to, you know, literally scare the shit out of them. Oh, I'm having trouble pooping lately. Oh, why don't you play a really terrifying game while you're on the shitter? Oh, hey, that'll work.
I'm playing Resident Evil 7. Oh shit! I'm shitting now.
There you go. That's
Why
what
is
you
it
can
so
do, Ryan.
bad?
So okay, well, you know, they could also play No Man's Sky.
Ugh.
So
Oh, and also, remember at E3 there was that VR porn booth,
there was. I
Yeah.
never went to it.
and it had a pretty long line.
Of course it did.
Speaking of porn, how's Microsoft and Disney doing?
What does that have to do with porn?
Nothing.
That was the worst segue ever. I was trying to come up with one while we were talking.
Well,
Still.
I did the job for you. So.
Yeah.
It was bad too.
I was.
It was just as bad as all the porn plots.
porn
you know-
plots.
Yeah, exactly. Ding dong. Oh, the pizza guy's here.
Oh, the plots of porn.
Yeah. Oh my God. What? Come on.
No, not like plots of.
Oh, come
land
on, Frank.
where
I
porn.
know you're the type of guy that you totally watch porn for the plots. I guarantee you're like, I need to know why they ended up in this situation.
Where's his toolbox? Why didn't he bring a toolbox? He's not fooling anyone.
You're like the one guy that doesn't like skip past like the first 3 or 4 minutes of the video. You're like,
Yeah.
nah, I gotta figure out how they got into this situation. Why is this barely 18 girl who's actually 30 in this situation with this plumber right now? Could she not pay?
She
Could she not
slipped.
pay?
She slipped and fell on his cock. That's all there is to it.
Oh, what a twist. Anyway, so the next topic, everybody's pointing at me and pointing at the topic, going, do this, Josh. So we're going to do it now, not save it to the end. Apparently, Microsoft and Disney are interested in buying Twitter, which I had no idea that Twitter was actually planning on selling itself.
Well, because from what I heard, Twitter is losing a lot of money, and they need a buyer really fast.
Like, what are they...
So every time me and Josh tweet about Dragon Ball, they're losing money. Every time we share Battle Geek Plus videos on Twitter, they're losing more money because nobody's watching.
Because we're just that non-profitable.
Yes.
We negate everything else on Twitter.
And we're not buying up ad space to promote ourselves.
Yep.
So why is Twitter
actually,
losing
Twitter
money?
keeps messaging me asking if I want to buy ad space. I think that's how desperate they are for money.
Oh yeah, I get the little things.
Oh, okay, yeah, but do you know why they're losing money? Like, what's the deal?
I guess ad space.
I mean,
or maybe Justin Bieber's not posting as much. Actually, Justin Bieber quit Twitter. That's why.
Well, yeah, that's because because he started dating some chick, and Twitter and the internet went insane, and I guess all the little Justin Bieber fans that were, young women and teenagers, like, really were, I mean, they were going crazy and saying some awful things about her, and, like, he had met her, I guess, and I remember reading about this, and it was so funny, because he had met her, and they apparently started dating as soon as they met, or something, and when the internet found out, it was like they had been together for like a week, and I mean, there were girls on Twitter that were just like tweeting at her and at, him being all like, how could you be with this whore? And like, you
were supposed to end up with me.
Yeah, exactly. Or, date, you should be dating this other celebrity, not this bitch. And I mean, just like, people were losing their minds and being awful. And it was like, so he was like, okay, well, fuck all of you guys. I'm not going to be on Twitter anymore. And so they dug their own grave. And I found that hilarious because, I mean, okay, I don't give a shit about Justin Bieber. I don't like his music. I don't think he's amazing. I don't think he's cute or adorable. He's tiny. I didn't realize how tiny he was until I met him. And I didn't even know who the fuck he was.
Most entertainment people that I've met have turned out to be a lot smaller than
that's true. You're right. That's very true. It's all cameras, yeah.
Phil DeFranco is like the only person.
Oh my god, he was so tall.
Yeah, he's like 7.5 feet tall. Like, he's like patting Shaq on the head like he's a little puppy.
Right.
He's just kind of like, nation, what is up? As he's just like, barreling his way between the halls at E3 a couple of years ago.
Right,
and
yeah.
I try and give him a high five, and he just smashes me with his entire hand. Like I felt like I needed to call the Megazord just to give him a fist bump. Where like everybody that works for him is like Tom Cruise size.
Oh my god, Meg Turney was so tiny.
Yeah, I remember.
Right?
But yeah, it's the same thing with Justin Bieber. He was so tiny. I didn't even know who he was when I spoke with him and met him. And but I mean, he's a person.
You met Justin Bieber?
Yeah, he goes to work to eat.
No,
he'll get food to go. He's done that because he'll rent one of the boats that docks outside of our patio, and he'll have the boat out all day. And
for anybody who hasn't been following along, Heather works at a restaurant.
Yes, I work at a restaurant in Newport.
Now all the teen girls want to know where this restaurant is. Heather.
No.
Oh okay. If anybody who actually is that obsessive, they already know, because the first time that he rented the boat, the second the word got out, the very next day, the patio was overflowing with idiots trying to get pictures, children and adults both, trying to get pictures and videos. And like, I mean, the second day he was there, and when they came back, like, his bodyguards were pulling double duty and making sure that everyone was like not touching him and stuff. Because the day that I met him, I mean, it's not like I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I was out on the patio, and the boat was coming in, he was bumping his own music, which was hilarious when I realized what was going on. But they came up the dock, came out onto the patio, and started walking to go through to the parking lot. And this table I have, like, the kid, he is like just snapping pictures. And I'm like, who the fuck are these people? I actually was like thinking that one of the bodyguards was the person he was taking pictures of. I thought maybe he was a rapper or something. And because he was just like a big tricked out dude, And I was just like, oh, maybe it's this rapper guy, And I didn't even notice that there was a smaller person until they actually came off the dock. And I had to step to the side because we had all of our umbrellas set up, and there was a big party going by, leaving the restaurant next to us, and they all left, and they come up, and I let them go ahead and pass, and Bieber ended up tripping over one of our umbrellas, and I was like, oh, holy shit, like, be careful, and he was like, oh, yeah, thanks, no worries, like, it's cool, I should have been paying attention, and, like, his bodyguards were behind him, and the table where the kid was taking all the pictures, the father, not the kid, the adult man who was in his 40s did this, suddenly shoved his chair out in front of Bieber very quickly, like to stand up in front of him very fast. His bodyguards nearly had a fucking heart attack. And, I mean, he shot his hand out real quick just to shake this was just to shake his hand and tell him that he thought, hey, I know a lot of people give you a lot of shit, but, you have to work hard in this business. It's not an easy life. Congratulations on all your success and blah, blah, blah. And he was just doing this to be like, hey, congratulations, shake your hand. I think you're, keep doing you. And which that was cool of the old guy to do that. But the manner in which he did that, there's a reason why celebrities have bodyguards. Because
that's like the same like jerky motion kind of stuff from like some guy who's got like a little
got
gun,
a knife. Yeah. I mean, he could have been gutted right there on our fucking dock like a fish. I mean, it was crazy. And then after, he shook the guy's hand and he was very gracious. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Keep being a fan, keep supporting, and thanks a lot. And the bodyguards kind of started shuffling, like grabbed onto Bieber's shoulder, started shuffling him away. And they all ran to his Escalade in the parking lot. And at that point, I was like, oh, so question, table, people who know obviously who that was. Who the fuck was that?
Who was that tiny lesbian hanging out with the rapper?
Yeah, and like, the father was like, oh, that was the Biebs. And I went, oh, he's really small. But I didn't even know it was him. But, like, yeah, he's gone through the restaurant a couple of times. They'll get some food to go every now and again, as far as I'm aware. They haven't actually ate at the restaurant. I don't blame him. That would be a dumb idea. But, yeah, he's rented the boat outside of our one of the boats outside the restaurant several times. And they'll go out for a day and do whatever. Because as far as... And the reason why I know about, like... the fans and what happened with the girl that Bieber was dating or something, and Twitter losing its mind and him quitting Twitter. The reason I heard about it the first time was because of more customers who was asking if Bieber was there because he had been there that morning to rent the boat out again. And then I found out about it, and then I ended up going home and reading about it. So the fans got what they deserved on that.
Video games, everyone.
Yeah, I know. Now we're talking about Bieber.
Well,
right.
so I bet Twitter was like, Justin, come back so we can serve more ad space on your tweets.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's kind of what's going on there. Maybe there's just less ad revenue coming in, more ad blockers, less people buying, that sort of thing. And I don't know. Maybe it just needs the help of an even bigger company to come in and take hold of it. Disney buys it. Maybe they'll turn the bird into a mouse. We'll all get on Squeaker.
No, they're going to the Squeaker. No, what they're gonna do with the bird is they're gonna turn it into a princess.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
My favorite Disney princess is Batman still.
Yeah, because Microsoft bought Minecraft a couple years ago for a couple $1 billion. Oh
yeah.
So.
Holy shit! I actually just went on a table just the other day that. It was Sunday night, and it was a family with 3 kids. The oldest was probably like 12 or 13. The youngest, she was like 8, maybe. Super nice. They were from New York City. And
New York City?
I knew that was going to happen.
I'm ashamed you guys didn't chime in. Continue.
I am. I'm a little ashamed as well, Frank. But yeah, and I made a comment about, it's Sunday night. You guys got to get out of here. It's a school night. And they're like, oh, we're from out of town, so the kids don't have to worry about that. They were actually in town for the Minecon, the Minecraft convention.
Oh yeah, that's
and
over here.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that like Anaheim or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Anaheim, and it was a big deal. They said it was packed, and they had a lot of fun, and there were a ton of families there, even families from they weren't the only ones from out of state. So the whole family had a lot of fun. So I thought that was really awesome.
Which, by the way, like up in Anaheim, when is it? December?
Yeah, December.
They're doing a Capcom like fighting tournament and like the PlayStation Experience.
Yeah, at the
and all that.
PlayStation Experience, which used to be up in San Francisco. Now they moved it down here for us.
Okay, cool. You know, we might go cover a little bit of that. We'll see how things turn out.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Microsoft will have the money to buy Twitter. It's just, because
Well, there was something in the article about how Microsoft. The only reason they started expressing interest was because some other company was expressed.
Salesforce?
Yeah, Salesforce was all like, "Hey, Twitter, maybe we want to buy you," and then suddenly Microsoft's like, "Oh, I want to buy Twitter," and they were I don't know. It was funny the way the article worded it, and it made it, and they started talking about how there was something else that Salesforce had expressed interest in, and then Microsoft swooped in suddenly and like bought it. So Salesforce like couldn't get it, and now like people are trying to like be like, oh, there's something going on between Salesforce and Microsoft, and Microsoft's trying to like beat out Salesforce or something. I just found it funny.
When I worked in sales, like there was like some of the people I knew like who worked at like other buildings and stuff like that. They used something called Salesforce for their thing, where like we used a Microsoft thing for ours instead. I can't remember what it's called. I think it was like CRM or something like that. But yeah, there was like a Microsoft thing. It's like some people use Microsoft, some people use Salesforce, and I don't know. Maybe Twitter would be good for if Microsoft owned Twitter or if Salesforce owned Twitter. It would be easier for them to kind of data mine for customers and stuff like that for the sales jobs and whatnot and potential customers and things. So who knows? But anyway, let's get back to video games before we cut this off for the evening. I think we've talked about Justin Bieber and Twitter. What's up?
Oh, I was just going to say before we get into that, I need to let everybody know it's after dark. It's 7:30 p.m. our time right now at this very moment. And it's 80 degrees outside. And we have the windows and doors shut to not get any ambient noise. And like I said, it's hot as balls in this apartment. It's probably like high 80s, probably 90 easily degrees in here. Josh is sweating fucking buckets. Like, he's sweating through his shirt right now.
Which is why I'm trying to move forward into video.
Anyway.
Well, one last thing about Twitter. I hope they find a buyer fast so Josh and I can still talk about Dragon Ball and how we hate YouTube comments.
I'm leaving.
Okay, bye.
No, really. Really, let's get this back into video games. That's that thing that people like to hear about when they listen to us.
No, Justin Bieber. Wow.
I'm impressed. I am.
So our Broforce video came out this week.
Broforce.
Jeez, Frank, you didn't chime in? I'm so ashamed.
You don't Broforce? You don't force, bro?
But anyway, which, speaking of that, Ryan came across a thing where the Broforce developer moved himself, the other developers, and some other indie developer friends to a tropical island for 3 months to do this thing called a game jam, where they all just kind of hang out in this tropical paradise, in this nice mansion kind of place, and do this sort of make indie games together and collaborate while filming it and doing some sort of YouTube reality series sort of deal. And we watched the first episode of it before we started recording tonight. What did you think of it?
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
Everyone
great.
seemed to have a really great sense of humor.
Yeah.
They're all really laid back people. And I mean, it showed them unpacking like their boxes and shit. And one of the gals is like, "What's this? Jason's PC. Why the fuck am I unpacking Jason's music gear?" "Oh, it's because he's out on the beach." "Well, fuck that. These people should be working. It's a work day." That was great. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, and hell, they were talking about how they made so much fucking money because of Broforce. They got to spend the money somewhere, right? So why the fuck not go to a remote tropical island?
I've never been to that kind of island before. What was that island called again?
No, the actual the name of the island was
Broforce?
Broforce
Island.
Green Hill Zone?
Angel Island?
Martin
Luther King Island?
Maris something. I don't know. I don't remember how they pronounced it. Starts with an M. So
Mega Man Island?
yeah.
We'll
let's
link
go
to
with
our
that.
source in the description so that you can go watch the first episode yourself.
They probably did that for probably tax reasons, maybe?
What?
Well, they made a joke about that actually.
They did.
They're all like tax evasion.
but like really, they went there. Like it was just kind of like, we have tons of Broforce money and we don't know how to spend it, even though we all live in really expensive places. So let's just spend even more money.
I don't know. Is South Africa a really expensive place?
They went to South Africa?
That's
No.
where they were located in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought some of them were from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
There's kind of an indie developer scene in San Francisco, you know.
Right.
So
Well, I think the original location for the actual like dev headquarters or whatever was in southern Africa.
Southern Africa.
Yeah, I had to think for a second. My brain shut down.
Southern.
One of those southern places.
Where y'all from? America? America.
Not that southern.
We don't take kindly to no Americans here.
I thought this was America.
Fuck yeah.
South Africa.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, go ahead and check that out. Broforce is an amazing game. We played it. We have an episode of Battle Geek Plus that went up on Tuesday about Broforce. We will likely be doing more Broforce in the future because we are moving slowly into streaming as opposed to pre-filming our episodes. So check that out. You can head to twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus. You can also check out the segments from our streams broken up and put up every day on our regular YouTube channel that you're likely already following, youtube.com/BGPAwesome, which you can also reach from BattleGeekPlus.com. We'll play more of that, and in the meantime, while you're waiting for more stuff to come out, you can watch the Game Jam from our Broforce developer on his tropical island of amazingness. Anyways, we've got other shows that we do on a kind of a weekly basis. Ryan, what are those?
Yeah, we do awesome video game memories where we talk about video games, and we also do Battle Geek Plus Arcade Edition once in a while.
Battle Geek Plus Arcade Edition. What do we do at Battle Geek Plus Arcade Edition?
We actually go to real arcades, which actually exist. You know, they're not a thing of the past. They're real. We go there, play arcade games, and we show ourselves on camera playing arcade games, and it's really fun.
They're kind of hard to find sometimes.
Yeah.
The one that we like to go to that we've done a lot of episodes for, like that one's just kind of like off the beaten path a little bit.
Now it's exploded a bit.
So they're like underground societies.
Yes. We really like this one arcade, but like, you know, you wouldn't know about it. Like it's kind of underground.
First rule of underground arcade: don't talk about underground arcade.
Second rule of Arcade Club: do not talk about Arcade Club.
Third rule about Arcade Club: must be catty corner to a hipster place to get food.
Yes. I mean, inside a train, like that's one, like a train car, like that where that bar is.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool though.
And if
actually.
this is your first night at the arcade club, you have to play something.
Which actually, the one that we go to, like that one, they actually have like consoles and stuff upstairs now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's tons of stuff to do. But anyway, we have shows, we do them. Ryan told you about a couple. I've told you about some stuff that we're doing. We also have this show, Waxing Pixels, comes out on Thursdays on YouTube, and it's also available as a podcast and on your favorite podcasty downloady thingy. So thank you for listening to Waxing Pixels. My name's Josh, and with me I have, as always, Heather.
Bye.
Ryan.
Yo, bye.
And Frank.
Find out on the next exciting episode of Battle Geek Plus.